Jose Eduardo Martinez Alcantara. Memorize this name because this guy wrote beautiful chess history in the Title Cup in 2024 that you can follow, of course, every Tuesday on chess.com. What Jose Martinez did, only Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura managed to do in chess history. Jose Martinez had a perfect score. He had 11 wins out of the 11 games that he played, which is really, really incredible, which is immortal chess history. And actually on his path, he won his games against Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura, which is more incredible, I think. He outplayed really the most spectacular players in the Title Cup editions, and he has now a new place in chess history for sure. So I sorted out now this game played by Jose Martinez against Hikaru Nakamura. In my opinion, really, really beautiful theoretical game, but then going also with beautiful tactics in the middle game stage. So let's see now what happened with the white pieces. Jose Martinez opened with the move e4, c5 by Hikaru, knight to f3, e6, the French variation of the Sicilian defense, and now we have the delayed Alapin with the move c3, preparing of course to break and enter immediately with the move d4 and then occupy the center with his advanced pawns. Knight to f6 by Hikaru, bishop to d3, knight to c6, and now bishop to c2, preparing again this move d4. We have now c4 by Hikaru, which makes, I think, now this d4 move a little bit harder, but Jose Martinez plays now first of all the move queen to e2. He supports now his pawn on e4, and he's trying to play e5 and then have a space advantage in the center of the board, which is of course a great positional advantage then in the later stage of the game. Hikaru plays d5, we have e5, knight to d7, and now d4 anyway here by Jose Martinez. If you play something like, I don't know, bishop to e7, then the position is simply too dangerous. The bishops are targeting already the king side. The knight can be included in the later stage, probably into the attack. Very tough then to play this game from black's perspective, because you have lost also your key defender of the king. The knight is not on f6 anymore, so really messed up position then for black. So that's why after d4 Hikaru took en passant, c takes d3, we have bishop to d3, and still Jose Martinez is continuing the game with his main space advantage, with his positional advantage with the pawn on e5. And now Hikaru makes already a tiny little inaccuracy in the opening stage. Many of us would play this move for sure. It's not like this is obvious what's going on here on the board. Knight to c5 is a problem because white can simply retreat here to c2 and will simply continue with the space advantage. We'll play bishop to f4, and still I think you haven't solved all of your positional problems here from black's perspective. A better choice is to play first of all bishop to e7 here, and then after kingside castling here you should immediately attack with g5. That's the progressive plan here for black. Then after something like bishop to b5 you can maybe play something like this, but the main goal is then to play g4 and then to grab this pawn on e5. Still, I would say it's tough to play this position for black, because your king is probably stuck now in the center, but maybe grabbing the pawn on e5 is then a good solution, and then you can battle here from black's perspective. But after knight to c5, Jose Martinez, as I said, had the opportunity to play bishop to c2 and then support further the f4 pawn, but now he equalized the position for Hikaru. He played now kingside castling, allowed here Hikaru to play knight takes d3, and after queen to d3, okay, white is still having this space advantage, this progressive pawn on e5, but lost now finally the bishop pair, which becomes, I think, now again an equal position now for both sides. But now Hikaru again misses really here the theory of this opening. He plays queen to c7, which makes perfect sense, of course. Again, many of us would play this move. You're attacking the e5 pawn, but the best way actually here is to proceed with f6, and that's something that bothered me many times in these positions, to weaken of course your king further with the move f6. But now notice that white doesn't have any more the light square bishop. White lost the light square bishop, so you should not be scared so much on light squares, because after f6 maybe e takes f6 can be played, and now you play g takes f6. But now your main plan is to play e5, then bishop to e6, and then bishop to f7. You would have a powerful control of the center, and then maybe finally queen to c7. Maybe in some lines you could also play queenside castling. So here I think Hikaru missed his huge opportunity to be even slightly better in the position. But okay, after queen to d3, queen to c7, rook to e1, obviously white is now supporting the main strength of the position, bishop to e7, and now bishop to f4, again simply supporting the pawn. Bishop to d7, knight from b to d2, normal development, targeting of course the d4 square, knight to b3, knight to d4, and then keeping the position compact in the center of the board. Knight to a5, and now a beautiful move, I would say, here by Jose Eduardo Martinez Alcantara, bishop to g5. Great choice, I would say, great positional idea, because if you take, which is even the best way here for black to proceed, then after knight to g5, notice that white will apply a beautiful bad bishop strategy, where the bishop is simply locked, it's blocked out by its own pawns, and now black would lose also the main strength that black had in the position, which was of course the bishop pair. Now with two knights against a bishop and a knight, you can battle, and as I said, it's not a powerful bishop on d7, actually it's the worst piece on the board. So after bishop to g5, as I said, great choice here by Jose Martinez. Hikaru probably should have taken here, but he played bishop to f8, and now the position gets a little bit too passive, in my honest opinion. Now I'm not sure where black would even castle now anymore. Even if you try now queenside castling, then position can be broken with rook to c1, and then c4 I think would be then the progressive idea. So Hikaru had some chances. Now I think from this point on the game becomes a one-way ticket in white's favor. Knight to d4 by Jose Martinez, rook to c8, and now queen to g3, which makes now really the position for black hard. You cannot even castle anymore. I'm not sure, even if you castle in some lines, then there are some tactics with bishop to f6 or bishop to h6. Very, as I said, messy position now for Hikaru Nakamura. h6 by Hikaru, bishop to e3, g6, and now h4. Great choice here by Jose Martinez, simply breaking the position on the king side, not allowing here somehow Hikaru to secure the king. We have bishop to g7, and now bishop to f4. And now Hikaru makes another blunder, crucial blunder of this game. He plays now the move knight to c6. The problem about this move knight to c6 is actually that knight to b5 and knight to d6 is working. A better choice for Hikaru is first of all to play queen to b6, attacking also the pawn on b2, preventing knight to b5, and then after something like rook from a to b1, now you can play knight to c6. And I think black is holding this position because knight to b5 cannot happen. But after knight to c6, Jose Martinez had the immediate opportunity to play knight to b5 and knight to d6, and I think you can resign after a couple more moves. But Jose Martinez had a different idea in mind, which was, I think, even more spectacular. He played now the beautiful knight to f5. Great choice here. You cannot take, of course, because you lose the bishop on g7. If you play here something like, I don't know, e takes f5, then e6 is coming with the discovered attack against the queen, and now you have to step back. We pick up this one, and now the king is stuck in the center. I think you're getting positionally destroyed after a couple more moves. So not a good position again here for black. So after knight to f5, Hikaru retreated to f8. Jose Martinez continues with knight to d6. Beautiful square here for the knight, but in the previous line with knight to b5, here Jose Martinez could have taken also the rook. But okay, after bishop to d6, he takes d6, queen to d8, and now c4. That's the move that Jose Martinez was waiting for. He's trying, of course, to open simply the position on the e file. Hikaru takes, and now a beautiful follow-up again by Jose Martinez, knight to e4. He doesn't want to even take the pawn on c4. He notices, of course, that Hikaru still has a tough time on dark square. So we have now king to f8, queen to c3, hitting the rook to f6, rook to g8 is not possible here because you get this one, bishop to h6, and the game is again over on dark square. So too many dark square problems here for Hikaru Nakamura. Nothing can be really done. If you go with your king here to g8, then you're running into some dirty tactics with knight to f6. So it's not working, so that's why f6 by Hikaru. Knight takes f6, king to f7, and now knight takes d7, queen to d7, and now queen to c4. This finally pawn is taken, and the knight is a little bit misplaced. When we watch the position harder, you can maybe get it on the edge of the board, but it's of course not good to have the knight there. You cannot take this square is taken. What you can do is maybe somehow get your knight again on a back rank, but again it's a passive setup then for black. Very messy now position to play for Hikaru Nakamura. Rook from c to e8, rook to d1, supporting again simply the pawn. e5 is not possible because of the queen's activity against the king. King to g7, queen to c3, and now b4. Good move with the preparation to play b5, and then the knight is again out of game. We have rook from h to f8, we have queen to d2, hitting now the h6 pawn, and now Hikaru played h5, which is again weakening the dark squares further in front of black's king. So far Hikaru is trying to hold the position, but when we watch now how cramped his pieces are, very not a good position for black for sure. Bishop to g5, we have rook to f5, a4, and now queen to c3, e5, and now finally this idea b5, simply getting rid of this knight. The knight has to again go here. It's a good square for the knight, and finally this rook is disconnected from the defense of the pawn, but Jose Martinez had everything under control. Queen to c7 forces now the reaction here for Hikaru, and now here d takes c7. This pawn is almost unstoppable, nothing that can be done. Very game over here for black. Hikaru is trying to battle, but now rook to d7, first of all the check, and now rook to b1, hitting the knight. Knight drops back, and now this one is falling. Great tactics here by Jose Martinez. We have now knight to c8, and now rook to d8. Obviously you cannot take because then with the promotion on d8 will happen. Rook to f8, Hikaru is trying to battle, but now Jose Martinez is continuing the pressure. Even if you try rook to d8, then we'll simply take, and you have to again give up here the rook, and obviously game over. So after rook to b8, we have knight to a7, and here after bishop to h6, in this position Hikaru Nakamura simply resigned. Although you could have also taken here the rook immediately, but too many options of course here for white. Fair resign by Hikaru Nakamura. So great game by Jose Eduardo Martinez Alcantara. Great attack. We have seen also, I think, very important ideas how to defend with the black pieces in these types of positions. Beautiful game, I would say. And congratulations to Jose Martinez. He wrote now chess history of the title cup on chess.com. So okay, if you want to see some other beautiful chess games here on my YouTube chess channel, check out our commented chess games and also our commented chess games played by computers, where we analyze beautiful AI chess games. And if you like this content, hit the subscribe button. See you soon with some more videos, and what do we say in the end? Chess is the best, of course.